So day 2 of being on ADHD medication, specifically Strattera, and again, I feel like I've already am feeling the effects of it, even though it's a slower release non-stimulant, and the effects supposedly my psychiatrist said that it's most likely to be like in full effect within 2 weeks, but I'm very sensitive to medication and I'm already at a very low dose. I'm like at the lowest dose that's acceptable to give effect still be help in some way. And for the side effects, I am tired, but I know the night before I had a hard time sleeping, and it was from a shift and change of like medication, as well as my husband not being present there. So I think that kind of messed up my sleep regimen because of just not feeling his presence next to me. But he came back and I slept really well last night, and I typically get more tired the next day, even though I sleep well, because to make up for the being like a lack of sleep the night before. But I also noticed that, like, in cases like that, I would typically be very, very fatigued. Like, I would feel tired. I would constantly yawn, and I'm still tired, but again, I feel like it's a more reasonable tired from catching up with sleep. So we'll see if that continues, because that is actually been a huge issue for me since I was a kid. Like, having insomnia, having issues with insomnia, specifically because I thought it was mostly with my autism and being very sensitive to sound and movement and all these things. And maybe it's another element where I have insomnia because of what's going on in my mind, but I also know that for me, Strattera is actually making me extremely drowsy and helping me to get into sleep, along with taking other things that help aid in helping more a natural sleep. But I haven't noticed, though, in the last 2 nights, my dreams have been more vivid, or like my body's more active when I have my vivid dreams. In general, I dream every single night. I've always been a vivid dreamer, but I've noticed that in the last few nights, because I'm also kind of a lighter sleeper and a lucid sleeper, I tend to wake up and on like throughout the night instead of having a very consistent deep sleep. I'm waking myself in the middle of the night, and I noticed that like my body is just more physically moving. Always been a mover, but last night I remember having a dream where I was like touching some type of like touchscreen or something, and I remember when I was waking up, I felt my hands like doing this. So I don't know if I feel like that could be a side effect of the Strattera. We'll see if that continues or if it like just fades out once my body gets used to the different medication. But so far it's been good. When I've seen videos of other people who have ADHD take ADHD medication and talk about like the stillness or quiet in their mind, I get it now, because before I was like, what is that? What does that feel like, and is it good? Because as far as good, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, the anxiety part of it, I already had kind of helped balance out with my anti-anxiety med, and my body felt like a lot more relief. Even now, I do feel like there's a less anxiousness as well and more calm, but I do kind of feel the difference in my mind. Like, I'm not ruminating on things, like random things popping in and out of my head. But I don't know if I like that, because for me, my ADHD hasn't really been an issue in disabling me. It's more been like a way of helping me to be adventurous and helping me to look into other things that I would naturally never really like be into, or to just go and be like a go-getter into things, and it sparked a lot of creativity. So for me, my ADHD was actually a stronger creativity side than a disabling side. And I had so much coping skills to manage my ADHD that I never felt like I needed medication. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how I feel about kind of the dullness or quietness in my mind. Yeah. But that's day 2.